Hey guys, welcome back in another tutorial of the Flutter series. In this tutorial we are going to create a nice looking layout of the login screen. Let me show you first what we are going to build today. So this is our layout, a simple login screen, actually a nice looking login screen. It has two fields, one is for the username and second is for the password. It also has a password toggle button and in the last the login button. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Firstly, you have to create a blank Flutter project. I have already created a project. Let me open it. Okay, so here's the blank project. Firstly, I will remove some code which is the default code which the Flutter provides us. Okay, so now I am going to add a primary swatch of pink and the background color of, I'll create a custom color here which will be 010436. So we have created a dark navy color. Here we are going to create a class which named login screen. Okay, now we are going to call our login screen here. First we are going to create a scaffold. Scaffold will have a background color, and for choosing our background color we'll use theme dot of context dot background color. Okay, after that in the body I'm going to create a column. The column will have children, and I want the children of column to be central aligned, both horizontal and vertical. So I'll add main axis alignment dot center and same for cross axis alignment. This two will be the center. Okay, after that we need to create a circular avatar which will have a user image. This is basically a network image which will be fetched from the internet. If you are debugging or if you are running app with the debug mode on, this will work perfectly, but when you make this a release version you have to give some permissions, or you have to give a permission of the internet. After that it will work fine. Okay, so now I am going to create a container. Container will have a clip behavior, or I can say I'll add it later. Okay, width of 200 and height of 200 also. In the decoration I'll add the box decoration. It will have some colors, or maybe I think we should leave it. Okay, first I will add a child of image dot network. This will have a network image, and I will also add box fit dot cover. which will cover the space. Here we need to add a user image. I am providing a link here. You can choose whatever image as you want, but it should be a valid image. If you open this in a browser, this will take you to that image. Okay, so now let's run our app and see the results. Okay, so as you can see, our layout is as we have expected, except for the image because it is not central aligned, and we need to make it circular. For that we will add decoration, box decoration. Inside it we will add shape, the box shape dot circle. We also need to add clip dot ntls, which will make it a nice looking circular image. Okay, so after that container I will add a size box of height, I'll say 40, and here we need to create a text field, which will be, I'm using text form field. Text form fields has all these values. We can use any property as per our requirement, but here what we need is we need to first we are going to reload this, and as you can see this is centered because we have added this widget, and because of this widget and because this widget is taking the full available width, that is why the column is now taking the full width, and that is why this image is now in the center. Okay, so now what we are going to do is first we will add the decoration, which will be the input decoration. Input decoration will have border. I'll add outline input border, and after that we are going to add different borders for different values. For example, if our widget is focused, we are going to say it like outline input border, and output input border will have a border radius of, for example, border radius dot circular with 40 size. It will also have the border side, and the border side will have some colors. We are going to choose theme dot of context dot primary. We don't have the primary switch here, so we are going to manually take the color of pink. So this is the border which will be applied when the field is focused. But we need to define another border when the border is not focused. That will be enabled border, and here we are going to set the side to white. And after hot reloading, as you can see here, this is a white outlined border, and when the user focused it by clicking on it, it will become the pink, as you have defined here the focus border. Now currently it is the focus border, that's why these properties are applied to it. Okay, after that we need to add some icons here. We'll add a prefix icon. Prefix icon will have the icon with of person with color white. After that we need to define the okay, I think we are done here, or aren't we? The one thing which we missed is, or we made a blunder here, is this should be applied here. Sorry. And here we should have used enabled border. And now cursor color will be color.white. So when I apply it, when the border is focused, it will be white. Okay, so now we need to create another text field for the password. The one thing we can do is we can copy this and paste it again and then change the properties. The second thing what we can do is we can highlight this and on right click refactor, and here is the option of extract Flutter widget. By clicking on this, it is asking for us the name of the widget which we want to give it. I will use custom text field, and on refactor it has created a class for me and it is using a stateless widget. And if I copy paste it again and again, sorry, with the comma and comma, see, I can use it as many times as I want. But if I had copied this and pasted it again and again, this code would have exceed too much, and this is not a good practice. So we are going to create some modification in it. Like, first we are going to remove this constructor and we are going to convert this to stateful widget. The reason for doing this is we need to change some states inside this, and that is not possible with the stateless widget. So that's why we need to do this. Here I am going to define first the text editing controller. Secondly, I am going to define is I'm going to create a variable bool and I will give it name is password. So when will be the field is password, we will apply different properties, and when it is not password, we will use the same property. Okay, now it is giving us the warning because we have declared the final variables. There are two ways to solve this. Either we can change or apply a late property, but in this case we need to initialize some variables, so that's why we are going to create constructors. In the more options, it will give you the create constructor for final variables. Okay, so now I am going to add some properties here. For example, if the we cannot access the is password field because it is not in this scope, and we can access it with the help of widget. We'll copy it and paste it again. So when the field is not password, these properties will be applied, but when the field is password, we are going to use this section. We are going to do some modification here, like we need to add a suffix icon. But before adding this, okay, let's add the icon button here. On press and on icon, we are going to add some condition here. Okay, so after that, first let's say we have icon of icons dot visibility on. Okay, so it is giving us warning because we haven't provided the required parameters here. So we need to create some properties here, like text editing controller. First for username controller, and second will be for password controller. The first field will have username controller, and the second field will be for the password. So here we are going to add different controllers, and here we are going to make it true. Let's give some space between these two widgets. Okay, so now when we rebuild this, we have two widgets. One is for the username and second is for the password. By default, it has the pink color. We are going to change this, and its text is not visible because it is in black color. We are going to change this text too, and we are also going to change this icon also. Right now, if I click on this, nothing is happening because we need to do some action on it. And what we are going to do is, when user clicks on it, this icon will be replaced, and if the text is visible, it will be changed to the password field. Okay, for doing that, we are going to create a variable here with the bool, sorry, is password visible. By default I'll say it is false. Okay, so if the password is true, we need to change the icon to the lock. We need to change this color to white, and here we are going to say set state and I will change the state to is password visible to whatever it is, it will revert it. If it is true, it will make it false. If it is false, it will make it true. Okay, and here we are going to add a condition, is password visible, then show us this, else show us visibility off. Okay, so one thing we need to change is add this, because when the password is not visible, we will have this icon, and by clicking on it, it will make it revert and also change the icon. Okay, do we need to do anything else? I don't think so. Let's run our app. Yeah, we forgot to change the text color. Okay, we can do this here. Text style with colors. Okay, why it is not applied? Okay, we need to do this for both. In the style section. Okay, as you can see now, it is working, but we forgot to change this passwords field, and for doing this, let us come over here and add the obscure text. Obscure text is basically to show the password in the dots, and by default we need to make it true. Okay, if we apply it, see, by default it is not showing us the password, and when we click on it, now it is showing our password, and we can toggle this by this button. Okay, so now we need to add a button here, which is our login button. And for doing that, we need to go to here. I will give some height between these buttons, between the button. It will have the elevated button. On press we are going to perform some action, and the child will have the text, and the text will be login. We will add some style, text style, color, sorry, font size will be 18, and we need to style our button also. We can do this by button style, and first of all we are going to give the minimum size of all. Size dot from height would be 50. After that we need to add the shape. Shape would be rounded rectangular border. Border radius will be border radius dot circular of 32, and also side would be the border side with color will be the, oh, I think we don't need this. It is giving us some error. Oh yes, we forgot to put it inside the material state. We can do this by all, and here we need to add the rounded rectangular border. Okay, so now I think everything is done. Now let's run our app. Okay, so now our layout is almost ready. One thing we need to add is we need to give some spacing on the corners in the horizontal. So we can give it by wrapping this column inside a padding, and we can give the padding of 16 here. So now our layout is ready, and when clicking on it, user can enter his username and password also. He can also toggle the password. So thank you so much guys. We have learned today to create a nice looking layout of the login screen. You can use it in your apps. You can modify it in unlimited forms. So do some practice, do experiments, and don't forget to subscribe and like my video. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next.